bullseye marksman. Come train with us.
Okay, another 75-yard workout using this printable target, simulating a GSSF target. And I know that I need to shoot a very small group when the target is up close. If I take 8-inch zone, divide it by 5, 1.6 inches, that means if I shoot a 1.6-inch group, by the time I get out to that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that's going to grow to 8 inches spread. So that's why I focus on so hard on trying to tighten it up. I'm going to shoot this 5 times. That's 10 rounds each, under 15 seconds. I've got a shot timer, par time beeping to tell me that I'm within the time. And I'm trying to manage that time. It's close to 15 seconds, and you'll see that if you go too fast, it will affect your score. This first one, about 11 seconds, a little too quick, and I was a little sloppy, but they are all in there. So they're at least 10 or X ring hits. That's 100 points. Let's try it again. I want to be 100 points on all 5 of these strings if possible. So now I'm going to try to pace it a little better and more like a 1.5 seconds per shot. You can see that me smoothing that out just a little bit more. And try to use as much of that 15 seconds as possible. And yes, and we should see a little bit better result. Okay, those 2 low left were not me squeezing my hand. They were actually where the sight was when I pressed the trigger. So a little sighting error there. Let's run it out for a 3rd attempt. 10 more rounds at 75 feet or 25 yards. There we go. I think the problem I'm going to have here is the group is just too large, and some of them are going to drift out. Sure enough, one drifted out a little bit south. That's 98 out of 100. That's still good, but that's not my goal. So I'll run it out for a 4th try, and I'll try to emphasize the fundamentals and utilize the time. This is the 4th try. And I've got to get back on track and get 100 points here. I'm also thinking smooth every time I press that trigger. Smooth, straight to the rear. And not bad, but I've still got a little ways to go. It's just too close to the edge, but another 100 points. Not a bad practice, though, so let me end on a good note here. This is my last attempt. I've got to tighten up that group, so I'm going to focus on getting that sight to return to the center of the target, and I'm going to tighten up my abdomen and my core, my body. And when I tighten up the core, you can actually see that the recoil is moving me less, so the gun is returning back down to 0 faster and more consistently. I can definitely tell as I'm shooting, this is going to be better. I may have touched on the key to this. And sure enough, that is a fantastic group at 25 yards. So I'm ending the practice on a high note. I did find one little factor that helps me, and it's all about the recoil management, the stance, and the follow-through at 25 yards. So if you think about it, I shot a 498 match at 25 yards, all right? Now, I'm just playing around with a friend walked up behind me, and I'm going to try to put 10 rounds on this QR code, which is that small size I'm talking about. I'm only at 15 feet or 5 yards, but if I can't put them all in that QR code, that little square, I can't shoot a perfect match. And I got a little too big of a hurry. Those would have been hits down in that low left 8 zone. That would never work. That's why you got to have that small group up close or you'll never get there. So now I'm coming back and shooting another square that I drew onto the target, and now I'm really trying to get them all in the same ragged hole. Now that type of shooting at 5 yards would produce a perfect score at 75. Good practice.
Bullseye marksman, come train with us.